What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining the Glad's Horror Channel, the best horror channel here on YouTube. And today, we are going to talk about the movie, one of the most anticipated movies of the year, Candyman. I just saw it a couple days ago. Was it good? Was it bad? Let's find out together. So it's been about a week or so since I posted anything, and I just want to say the reason for that, I got married. So yeah, we got married last Friday and had our honeymoon earlier in this week. So we got back midweek, and now I'm back to be in front of you guys doing more horror content, and I'm super excited about it. So my beautiful and amazing wife, we got back in town on Wednesday. She was like, what are we gonna do today? I was like, let's go see Candyman, and she agreed. So we went to go see Candyman, and one of the things about Candyman, I absolutely love it. I love the theme. I love the horror icon. I think that icon is really underrated. Now, I'm very glad that it came back to the forefront now, because for the longest time, I feel like it didn't get the level of prestige it deserved. The storyline in the original is deeper than a lot of the slashers that we love and that seem to get more press. Like, I would put Candyman's storyline above both Halloween and Friday the 13th from a storyline standpoint. It's a little deeper. It's got a little bit of a love element to it as well, whereas those other two don't. So anyways, I digress. Let's talk about what happened now. So I originally watched the movie and I thought it was amazing. That was my very first reaction. And then the more I thought about it, I started to kind of sour on it, and I was like, it was okay. And then it hit me that this is a sequel. It's not a remake, okay? So we have to take this from a sequel standpoint. The difference is a remake is redoing what an original movie was. A sequel is adding on or adjusting the lore. They're able to change certain things because it's a sequel. It's not a remake. It gives its credence and its credibility and it gives the press it deserves to the original, and then adds on. So from that standpoint, I was able to come to the conclusion that I absolutely love this movie. I absolutely love it. Everything about it. Anthony, the main character, I thought he did really good. He was struggling with first of all, he was drawn to the Candyman lore because he's an artist. So he was drawn to the pain of the Candyman once he first heard about it. And when he heard about it, of course, what's the first thing people want to do when they hear about it? Bring him forward. And did that, and the whole movie is kind of what happens from that point. I don't want to give away too many spoilers on this one. There's a lot of moving parts to it, and a lot. It's more depth to this movie than a lot of slashers. So I want to tread real lightly as far as what I give away. The acting was top notch. Anthony's girlfriend's brother he was definitely the best character in the entire movie, and he was absolutely hilarious. He was funny in every scene, but that's saying he was the best of a great bunch. The entire cast was very, very good. Now let's get to the actual kills. The kills were great. They were brutal, but they still kept the same romanticism that is attached to a Candyman horror movie. If you look at Candyman movie, you look at Candyman 1, Candyman 2, Candyman 3, none of them are overly violent, even though he kills with a hook. And when I say that, I'm saying that to horror fans that know there are levels of violence, and what you would expect from a hook can be much more brutal than what's been shown. A lot of what they show in this one is kind of like they did in the original ones. It's kind of off camera. You know what's happening, but they're not showing it in this graphic detail, not all the time. So for that, it stayed right in the same path in what a Candyman movie is. Now, what else I liked about the movie was it paid homage to the original. It actually brought the original into the movie. That's very, very good when you're doing a sequel, but it's also from a perspective of this day and age. So the original came out in 1992. Here we are in 2021. So there's a whole slew of an audience that has never seen the original. What I like about this is it retold the story in a remake fashion. You know, kind of brought back forth the original story. And then once it's here, it goes on its path as far as what they're trying to tell. So I think that was very, very well done, because it's kind of hard to tell that line in just telling your story and forgetting what's already been here. My only gripe I have is, for me, I don't like when there's remakes or when there's sequels to movies that ignore some sequels. There is a part 2 and a part 3 to Candyman. And that's the only thing I do not like. If you're going to make a new sequel, I have felt the same way about the Halloween movie. I don't like when they ignore what's already here. Like we can just unsee it. We saw it, it's out. There's a good amount of actors and actresses that did the best they could in that movie to put forth that art for us, and to be ignored and wiped away, I'm not a fan of that. I really wish this one, and just like Halloween 2018, would have had some type of callback to every sequel, because it's still part of the lore. We can't just turn a blind eye to it. So that's one of my gripes with the movie. Now, another gripe I have with it, to try to keep this spoiler free, I wasn't too keen on the ending. And when you get to it to see it, I want to know what you guys think. If you've already seen it, please let me know in the comments. I wasn't too keen on the ending. It not for me from a standpoint of loving Candyman, okay? But having said that, since this is a sequel and it's doing very, very well in the box office, there will be another one. So the story is not done, right? So it may have set up for something amazing in the next one. Unfortunately, I can only go by what I'm seeing in this movie, okay? Overall, I really liked the movie. The acting was great. The storytelling was great. The way they brought Candyman back was great. The way that they kind of made Candyman bigger than just the one villain was great, but still kept it to the villain. There's a depth of Candyman that this movie showed that the other ones hadn't showed before, and I think it's phenomenal they did that. I'm also a member of a bunch of different horror groups, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, whatever have you, and there's been a lot of hate that I have read on this movie because of the racial undertones, and that boggles my mind. If anyone's seen Candyman, the first one, you know, or the second one, any of them, you know where the history of Candyman came from. The history of Candyman came from a racist act. It did. So to make a movie about Candyman, there has to be race involved, because the Candyman himself was made from a racist act. So that's what I have to say to anybody that says they didn't like this because of the racial undertones. I implore you to go back and watch part 1 and 2, especially 2, because they deep dive into what happened. And then go back and watch this one again, and it'll make more sense to you as why it has to go that way, because of how it was bred in the first place. Now, overall, I'm going to give this one an 8.7 out of 10. I really, really liked it. If it wasn't for the ending, it would be a 10, hands down. The acting was phenomenal. The kills were phenomenal. Candyman was phenomenal. There was no weak part of this movie. Now, having said that, there was one thing that I kind of didn't like around the going into the final act of the movie. I cannot say what that is in depth without giving away something. After thinking about it, I understand why it was there, but I wasn't a big fan. If anyone has seen this and wants to know, shoot me a message. Email me at feartheglads@gmail.com. Look out for me on Twitter at Glads for Life. Facebook, the Glads, Instagram, the Glads. I want to hear what you guys thought, because there's a lot more I want to say that but for those that have not seen it or are watching this video right now, I don't want to give anything away. So I'm really trying my best to kind of keep it in an even kill with what I'm saying. Bottom line, see the movie. The movie's really good, and it was one of the best I've seen this year, and I would love to see it again. So there's my review. Hope you guys liked it. If you're new to the channel, please leave a like, share, and subscribe to this video. I do all things horror. I do horror reviews, horror reactions, top 10 lists, everything horror, unboxing. I did my first unboxing the other day with the Phantasm Blu-ray set. So everything horror is what I do here, and I also take requests. If there's anything you want to see, let me know. I have my next video coming up in a few days is going to be a request from a Facebook from a subscriber that reached out to me on Facebook. They wanted me to review Body Parts, the 1990 movie Body Parts. So that's my next video. Anyways, thank you guys for your time. I'll see you guys next time.